Good morning, Cardinal Nation. My name is Julia Cook, and thank you for joining us on our very first edition of the Cardinal Beat podcast. Joining us today is football coach Zach Bruney. Thanks for joining me today, Zach.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We really just would like to get to know you and know a little bit about what you expect out of the season.
Well, we're getting ready to get started, so we're in full preparation mode right now. Coaches, we've been meeting for the past couple of weeks. Our guys are winding down their summer workout programs and plans that they've been sent, or a lot of the local guys, the area guys that have been able to work out here throughout the summer. That's all winding down. So we're in full preparation mode and getting ready for report day next week.
In your opinion, how important was it to be able to go through the exhibition season and spring ball last year with your freshman class?
It was very important. It helped us tremendously from a competition standpoint. I think getting to compete and play games last year, helped us develop from a non-playing standpoint. Anytime you get to compete against an opponent, prepare for an opponent, that gives you the real feel of what college football is like and what it is all about. That led us into a very good offseason. The weight room was, we got better. Spring ball, we had an idea how to practice the right way once we entered spring ball. It took us a little while last fall to kind of get accustomed to the pace and the tempo of practice, of what is required to practice at a high level in college football and in Division II. So spring ball, we were pretty clean, crisp, and we got a lot better. So it helped our program from a year one standpoint, from the fall to the winter to the spring, really develop, and our guys gave our guys a good springboard into the summer, and then hopefully give us a good opportunity to be ready to go this fall.
So how challenging and rewarding has it been to be able to actually build a team from the ground up?
I'd say it's a labor of love. It's hard. It's probably the most unique opportunity you would get as a college football coach and as a college football athlete too, to enter into a program on the ground level right from the start. Last year in recruiting the 2018 class, the parents, the families, the young men that we recruited, they had to trust a lot of the unknown because we hadn't played any games here yet. We hadn't had a football program or football team. It's a little different in the fact of sometimes coaches move on, take jobs. College football coaching is such a fickle game where, guys lose their jobs based on performance and things like that. But we didn't have to go in and change a bunch of things. You go into a program that might have been struggling for a while. You take over a program, your staff takes over, you have student athletes already in the school and in the program. That's different than, of course, coming in fresh, starting anew. But we had a lot of young student athletes, 18, 19 years old. There weren't any 21, 22-year-old young men in the building yet. But it's exciting. It's been tough. It's hard, just based on the recruiting rigors of But the opportunity to play might present itself a little quicker than it would be at another place that's been established for a longer period of time. So I think student athletes want that. What do they want? Well, they want opportunity, and they want to get a chance to probably play as early in their career as possible if they deserve that. Now, how early or how quickly or how much a young man got to play in our program or gets to play in our program, that's not going to change from any other program in the country in the fact that they have to earn that. So it's been tough, but it's been fun, and it's each day takes on its own life form, I guess. So we're just taking each day for each day and trying to be better.
What a selling point, though, to be able to say, this is brand new, we're going to make this our own. And I'm sure you're attracting a lot of good folks to the program initially.
We think so. Yeah, we think so. We were really pleased with our initial recruiting class, and then recruiting through the 2019 winter and into the spring has helped us hopefully what we feel like can build a really competitive team and program right out of the gate.
So where did you and your staff do most of your recruiting?
Well, recruiting can be done, nowadays with the access to videotape online now through Huddle and various forms of social media, YouTube. You can access a young man's highlight tape or game clips pretty easily. So recruiting now is probably a lot different than it was even 10, 20 years ago, or even when I was coming out of high school, where it was still the days of the VHS tapes were getting dubbed and copied and sent.
Yes.
Then that evolved into DVDs, burning DVDs and sending out. But now everything's instant, online, access to, like I said, Huddle pages and YouTube pages. And so you can see with an email and a link, you can see a student athlete from any parts of our country and even internationally. I mean, the game's grown so much. I mean, we get emails from, young men in Europe, Canada, but to have a good, I like our location because of where we're located in the northern panhandle, West Virginia, right on the border of eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. There's a lot of good high school football coaches. There's a lot of good high school football programs in a very short driving distance to our campus. So that helps. Western PA, the Whitfield, Pittsburgh, Eastern Ohio, of course, all up and down here in the Ohio River Valley. The OVAC gives us a nice recruiting base right in our backyard to start. And then, we're less than 2 hours to Columbus, 2.5 hours to Cleveland, about 90 minutes to Akron and Canton. And then we've done a nice job over in the DMV, over into the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore areas. Oh, okay. About a 3.5 hour drive, go down through Morgantown, shoot across 68. So we have a large chunk of guys on our roster right now from the state of Ohio, a large chunk of guys on our roster right now from the state of Maryland, and sprinkle a few guys in from our own state of West Virginia, PA, and in Virginia, and we got some guys from the state of Georgia as well. So recruiting now anywhere is pretty national, can be national if you choose to make it. The fact of traveling, though, and getting out on the road, that is all kind of done in a 4-hour kind of radius of campus. Getting in the car, going to see high school coaches in schools, and then players, of course, in their schools and then in their homes when the contact period allows you to do that type of recruiting in December and January, leading up to signing day, February, and then we keep recruiting through February and into March. So pretty wide, a wide net that we've cast, but we've done well in our tri-state area, so we're excited about that.
Is there anyone that we can expect great things out of?
Well, that's still to be determined. We have great expectations for all our guys, really. And the returning guys, the guys that have been through one full season with us, one full off season with us, one round of spring practices, even though most of them are sophomores and still relatively young from a college repetition standpoint, there's a really good crop of them that are counted on right now for leadership, and kind of bringing in the new group of guys that have just gotten started, leading them and just basically the day-to-day. You know what I mean? We're trying to take care of all the small things. We're trying to do all the little things right out of the gate. And hopefully if we, hey, keep your locker area clean. Hey, let's make sure the weight room's better than, leave it better than when we came in. Taking our food trays up the right way, cleaning our tables up at the cafeteria the right way. So, taking care of the little things that might seem minute or have really nothing to do with winning or losing football games, actually, if you instill the right type of process to take care of those little things the right way, hopefully down the road in the next month or so, the big things can take care of themselves. So doing things the right way right out of the gate. We're counting on a good crop of returning guys on both sides of the ball to kind of lead us right out of the gate. And then we're going to count on the first, a lot of first-year players, some freshmen, sprinkle in a few transfers to kind of help us get started.
So what type of student athlete are you looking for to fit in your program?
Well, it's a good question. Everybody's looking for talent. So take talent out of it because, every school in the country, based on their level, is recruiting for the talent that is available to them. What we're trying to do and what we're trying to find is, first and foremost, just good young men. Guys with a solid character background. And to this point in their lives, when you're recruiting them, that's been the job of their parents, family members, coaches, teachers, anybody that's kind of had a hand in raising them or bringing them, up through their teenage years. Second thing is, you have to have, to play the college football game at a high level, you really have to have a passion for playing the game. You can't just like it, you know what I mean?
Sure, right.
Talk to our guys, a lot in recruiting about, most of them play Friday nights in high school. So everybody loves football on Friday nights, right? The band's involved, the cheerleaders are involved, the student section's involved, parents, and but it's the guys that really embrace football on a Tuesday or a Wednesday at practice when it's a little tougher. The guys that embrace football January 15th, and February 9th at 6 in the morning when there's, maybe an inch or two of snow on the ground. You got to get out, you got to flip tires, you got to run, you got to work out. The guys that do, I guess, or have the best careers overall usually are the guys that enjoy the process of football the most, because I love coaching in games. Our staff loves coaching in games. Our players, of course, will love playing in games, but that's not where, most of our time is spent, or most of our time is spent in preparation mode. So the young men that can embrace that preparation mode to the fullest will have the best opportunity probably to excel. And then the third thing is we want guys to just achieve academically what they're capable of. Some guys work at different levels from a GPA standpoint, but whatever you're capable of academically, that's what we need you to achieve at. Some guys have to work extremely hard to have a 2.5 or 2.7, things like that. But if a guy's capable of a 3.1 and he's getting a 2.1, then we're going to have some issues with you're not working to your level of capability, and that translates. Young guys sometimes don't think that, but if you have any laziness in the classroom where you're not achieving what you should be in the classroom, it's tied to your athletic prowess as well. You could be a little bit lazy in the weight room or the off-season running program or a special teams period in practice.
How will you gauge the success of this season?
Well, to the public, it'll always be the wins and losses.
Right,
the win-loss record. But as a coach, as a staff, as a head coach, as a college football program, that's getting started, I think our success will be based on our improvement week to week. And our competitiveness and the way we practice, and do we see constant improvement? We want to be better, just a little bit better in some capacity each and every day that we're participating in our Wheeling University football program, whether it's academics, whether it's your position, whether it's how you are as a son or a nephew or a brother or a friend, constant improvement. So as long as we are continually climbing,
Incremental,
measurable.
measurable.
As long as we can see constant improvement in our team from a whole, program dynamic each and every day, then that to me is success. Now, do we want to win? Absolutely. Are we trying to win? Absolutely. Do we want to be the most competitive team out there each and every Thursday night and Saturday afternoon? Absolutely. Don't get that lost in the translation. We're the most competitive people around if you ask anybody. But success, can't always be determined in now, you want to have a great win-loss record, of course. You want to have an opportunity to win a championship.
Sure.
You want to have an opportunity to qualify for the Division II playoffs. But right now, we're basing our success on how much better we can get each week.
What a great philosophy. So speaking of competitions, I understand that the first opening game is really anticipated. It's going to be a big one. Tell me all about that.
Yeah, the team up the hill.
Yes.
That's what we're calling them right now. But
The team.
that's not anything disrespectful or anything like that. But Coach Wiley and those guys, we know them well. We know them well from the recruiting, the rigors of recruiting in the conference.
Okay.
We've been following the conference for the last 2 years as we've just kind of been. I got hired in 2017. We didn't. We spent a year recruiting. Didn't have any guys on campus till the fall of 18. Last year we played the exhibition season. So we've been following the conference though for the last couple of years, and we're excited to come out the gate and play our rival based on there's great rivalries with that school in other sports. It's been a great, and it's a great thing for the community, and it's a great thing for the area to get a college football game between two Division II schools. Right here in our backyard, and every year now moving forward, it should be exciting. And the brand of football that is played at this level is probably, a little bit, I don't want to say underestimated, but people don't really know how good Division II football is. It's a really good level of football. They have some really good players. We've been watching and studying them on film and preparing for them, this summer. They're doing the same with us, because we've exchanged film. So it'll be fun and it'll be exciting, but it's week 1, so there'll be a lot of unknown on both sides.
Right.
But it should be a fun atmosphere. I know they'll have a big crowd because they have a big following in this area. A lot of alums. We hope we don't have any football alums yet. That's
right.
Yeah. So, but we hope we get all the alums from all the other sports and alums from this area from our university to come out and support, and it'll be interesting. It'll be fun, and we're just gonna pin our ears back and go play and see what happens.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about you. So I understand that you're a local guy and that your dad is kind of a local legend when it comes to football. Tell me about that.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Martins Ferry, Ohio, right across the river.
Right.
I was a 2000 graduate. I played football for my father, Dave Bruney. He was the head coach Martins Ferry 1979 through, he just retired last, it would have been
Oh my gosh.
May of 18.
Jeez.
May of 18. So he was, and prior to that he was the head coach at Bridgeport High School for 1 year in 78. So he's in the Ohio High School Hall of Fame for the high school football coaches. He's going into the OVAC Hall of Fame coming up here on Saturday the 17th.
Oh man, go Dad.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
and then along with him, we're a football family. My wife Amber, she's from Dover, Ohio, and her father Dan Ift is the head football coach at Dover High School.
Oh wow.
So he is also in the Ohio High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame as well. So, I have a Hall of Fame dad and a Hall of Fame father-in-law. So if I don't do well here,
Yeah, no
I can't.
pressure.
Yeah, I can't go to Thanksgiving. I can't go to Christmas or anything like that. But football has been a part of what we've been in our family for a long time. And my dad at the high school level, which is a great level. And if I wasn't coaching college football, I would want to coach high school football. It's a very true form of the game, a very unique perspective. Young men developing from 14 to 18, and then we get them from 18 to 22. So, being from the area, it's been fun to be back, kind of establishing and starting something because football matters in this area.
It really does.
For, both sides of the river, high school, locally, we got some really good college programs in the area as well. It means something. So to have football here makes sense. It's always made sense. It just hasn't been until now. So we're excited to be a part of that. And, my wife and I, and we got the 3 little ones. So life's pretty crazy right now. Starting a football program and, got 2 little twins and, a 4-month-old. So, yeah, life is pretty.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's pretty recent.
Yes. So
Wow.
we have 2 2-year-olds. Yeah, 2 2-year-old twins, Quinn and Decker, and then Zara, Z-A-R. It's a pretty kind of a unique name, but we love it. Yeah. She was born in April, so right in the middle of spring ball, right before the spring game.
Oh my gosh.
We had our
my
little,
goodness.
Wheeling Hospital. We had our 3rd one. So we're lucky. We're fortunate. We live in St. Clairsville, and so we get the Ohio side and the Wheeling side of everything, and we're really. We love being close to Pittsburgh, and we used to live in, before coming here, we lived in Columbus, so we're still we can shoot out to Columbus, and my brother lives out there, and my sister's in that area too, so we can visit and go to the zoo and things like that. So pretty fun, pretty hectic, pretty crazy. My wife's a saint.
I was just going to say that.
For handling things with our family dynamic. Amber.
Amber, you're a saint.
Yeah.
We are not worthy.
So it's you know, we're excited, you know, and to have a great family background is just, you know, icing on the cake.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. You truly have set the bar, and I know that the entire Ohio Valley and beyond can't wait to see what the season's going to roll out. So good luck with everything.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And that wraps this episode of the Cardinal Beat podcast. Join us next week. Take care.